Hey y'all, it's Kim again. So this is the Senate torture report. And let me read the actual technical name. It says Report of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, Committee Study of the Central Intelligence Agency's Detention and Interrogation Program. And then after 9/11, many suspected terrorists were detained for extended periods and tortured according to this report. And we're on page 276. It's 712 pages, so hopefully we get through it in in a few weeks or something. It's been going for a while, but I mean, I'm learning a lot through these documents, so that's why I pull them up. Anyway, further details. Al Qaeda's second wave plotting refers to two efforts by KSM to strike the west coast of the United States with airplanes using non-Arab passport holders. While intelligence reporting often conflated the second wave plotting, KSM viewed the plotting as two separate efforts. Neither of the two efforts was assessed to be imminent, as KSM was still engaged in the process of identifying suicide operatives and obtaining plot training or pilot training, for potential participants when each effort was disrupted through the arrest or identification of the suspected operatives and operational planners. The Al Ghuraba student group was established in late 1999 by Jamia Islamia, or JI, leaders primarily to educate the sons of jailed JI leaders and to groom the students for potential leadership and operational roles in JI. Some members of the Al Ghuraba group reportedly completed militant training in Afghanistan and Pakistan while enrolled at Islamic universities in Karachi. Despite CIA representations to the contrary, intelligence and open source reporting indicate the group was not tasked with witting or involved in any aspect of KSM's second wave plotting. The discovery and disruption of the second wave plot, also known as the Great Coast Plot, West Coast Plot, and the Tallest Building Plot, along with the associated identification, discovery, and capture of the Al Ghuraba cell, is one of the 8 most frequently cited examples provided by the CIA as evidence for the effectiveness of CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. Over a period of years, CIA documents prepared for and provided to senior policymakers, intelligence officials, and the Department of Justice represent the thwarting and discovery of the second wave plotting and the identification, discovery, or arrest of the Al Ghuraba group members as an example of how key intelligence collected from HVD interrogations after applying interrogation techniques had enabled CIA to disrupt, more footnotes, terrorist plots and capture additional terrorists. The CIA further represented that the intelligence acquired from the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques was otherwise unavailable and saved lives. More footnotes. For example, in November 2007, the CIA prepared a briefing for President Bush under a section entitled Plots Discovered as a Result of EITs. The CIA represented that the CIA learned about the second wave plotting and the Al Ghuraba group only after applying the waterboard along with other interrogation techniques. Likewise, on March 2nd, 2005, the CIA provided the Department of Justice Office of Legal Counsel, the OLC, with a document entitled Effectiveness of the CIA's Counter-Terrorist Interrogation Techniques. The CIA memorandum stated that the Central Intelligence Agency can advise you that this program works and the techniques are effective in producing foreign intelligence. The CIA stated that enhanced interrogation techniques have enabled CIA to disrupt plots and capture additional terrorists. The document then listed 11 examples of key intelligence collected from HVD interrogations after applying interrogation techniques, including the second wave. This was a KSM plot to use East Asian operatives to crash a hijacked airliner into the tallest building on the West Coast, like in Los Angeles, as a follow-up or follow-on to 9/11. We learned this during the initial interrogation of KSM and later confirmed it through the interrogation of Hambali and Khalad. The Garaba cell, we learned of this 17-member Jamia Islamiyah cell from Hambali, who confirmed that some of the cell's operatives were identified as candidates to train as pilots as part of KSM's second wave attack against the U.S. Here's some more of those. Okay. The ensuing May 30th, 2005 OLC memorandum, now declassified and publicly available, states the CIA has informed us that the interrogation of KSM, once enhanced interrogation techniques was employed, led to the discovery of the KSM plot, a second wave, and the discovery of the Garaba cell, a 17-member Jamia Islamiyah cell tasked with executing the second wave. The CIA provided similar inaccurate representations regarding the discovery and thwarting of the second wave plotting and or the discovery of the Al-Garaba group in 18 of the 20 documents provided to senior policymakers and the Department of Justice between July 2003 and March of 2009. A review of CIA operational cables and other documents found that the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques played no role in the discovery or thwarting of either second wave plot. Likewise, records indicate that the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques played no role in the discovery of a 17-member cell tasked with executing the second wave. Intelligence community records indicate that the initial second wave effort began in parallel with the planning for the September 11, 2001 attacks and included 2 operatives who were tasked with seeking pilot training. The thwarting of this plotting was unrelated to the use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. The 2 operatives, Zacharias Moussaoui, I think that's how to say his name, and Farouk Al-Tunisi, aka Abdurrauf Jadeh, whatever, were known to be engaged in terrorist activity prior to any reporting from CIA detainees. On August 16, 2001, Zacharias Moussaoui, a French citizen, was arrested on immigration charges by the FBI in Minnesota. At the time of his arrest, the FBI informed the CIA that the FBI considered Moussaoui to be a suspected airline suicide attacker. On January 17, 2002, the FBI publicly released a statement identifying Farouk Al-Tunisi, aka Abdurrauf, whatever, Jadeh, a Canadian citizen, as an Al-Qaeda operative, possibly prepared to commit future suicide terrorist attacks. Intelligence indicates that Al-Tunisi, who remains at large, withdrew from participating in Al-Qaeda operations. His whereabouts remain unknown. The subsequent second wave effort began with KSM's tasking of several Malaysian nationals led by Masran bin Arshad in late 2001 to attack the tallest building in California using shoe bomb explosive devices to gain access to a plane's cockpit. The thwarting of this plotting was also unrelated to the use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. This plot was disrupted with the arrest of Masran bin Arshad in January of 2002. This arrest was unrelated to CIA detainee reporting. Bin Arshad claimed the effort had not advanced beyond the initial planning stages when KSM shelved the plan in December 2001, which Richard Reed exposed the shoe bomb explosive method, or when Richard Reed exposed the shoe bomb explosive method. Okay. Beginning in July 2002, while in the custody of a foreign government and after the extensive use of rapport building interrogation techniques, bin Arshad provided detailed information on his second wave There's more footnotes. Plotting. The Malaysian operatives details on Afifi, Lily, and Tafiq and the proposed method of attack. This information would later be corroborated by other intelligence collecting, including, to a limited extent, reporting from CIA detainees in the spring of 2003. Another Malaysian national associated with Masran bin Arshad, Zaini Zakaria, was identified by a foreign government as a potential operative seeking pilot training as early as July 2002. Zachariah was tasked with obtaining such training by Al Qaeda, but failed to follow through with the tasking. Zachariah turned himself in to Malaysian authorities on December 18th, 2002. Malaysian authorities released Zachariah in February of 2009. In 2006, a White House briefing on the West Coast terrorist plot, the assistant to the President of Homeland Security and Counterterrorism announced that the plot had been disrupted with the arrest of the cell leader Masran bin Arshad. Contrary to CIA representations, the use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques against KSM did not result in the discovery of KSM's second wave plotting. On March 1st, 2003, KSM was captured. He was rendered to CIA custody on March 2003 and was immediately subjected to the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. While being subjected to the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques and in the weeks afterwards, KSM did not discuss the second wave plotting. On April 19, 2003, 24 days after the use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques had ceased, interrogators questioned KSM about Masran bin Arshad and his role in developing a cell for the second wave attacks. After being told that Masran bin Arshad had been arrested, KSM told his interrogators, "I've forgotten about him. He is not in my mind at all." KSM also denied that he knew anything about a plot to take out the tallest building in California. KSM's reporting prompted Alex Station to write in a cable that we remain concerned that KSM's progression towards full debriefing status is not yet apparent where it counts most in relation to the threats to U.S. interests, especially inside CONUS. I don't know what CONUS is. I don't know. It's okay. According to a CIA cable on May 5th, 2003, KSM eventually admitted to tasking Masran bin Arshad to target the tallest building in California. KSM continued, however, to deny aspects of the plotting, such as denying the use of shoe bombs in the operation, only to confirm the planned use of shoe bombs in later interrogations. On June 23, 2003, an Alex Station officer wrote that given that KSM only admitted knowledge of this operation upon learning of Masran's detention, we assess he is not telling all he knows, but rather is providing information he believes we already possess. KSM was asked about detained Malaysian national Zaini Zakaria for the first time on July 3rd, 2003. During the interrogation, the CIA debriefer stated that there was information suggesting that Zakaria was funded by Al Qaeda to take flight lessons in September of 2001. KSM denied knowing the name Zaini Zakaria, but later described Musa. The CIA suspected this was an alias for Zakaria. CIA officers at the detention site where KSM was being interrogated then wrote in a cable, "The core problem, once again, is the appearance that KSM gave up this critical information only after being presented with the idea that we might already know something about it." So more footnotes. Okay. With regard to the Al Ghuraba group, contrary to CIA representations, a wide body of intelligence reporting indicates that this Al Ghuraba group was not discovered as a result of reporting from KSM or Hambali, nor was the Al Ghuraba group tasked with or witting of any aspect of KSM's second wave plotting. Rather, while in foreign government custody, Hambali's brother, Ruswan Gunawan, identified a group of Malaysian and Indonesian students in Karachi, witting of Gunawan's affiliation with Jamaiya, whatever, Islamaya. CIA records indicate that Gunawan stated that the students were in Karachi at the request of Hambali. In a cable conveying this information, CIA officers recalled intelligence reporting indicating KSM planned to use Malaysians in the next wave of attacks, and stated Gunawan had just identified a group of 16 individuals, most of all whom are Malaysians. The cable closed by stating, "We need to question Hambali if this collection is part of his next wave sale." From July through December 2002, foreign government reporting described KSM's use of Malaysians in the next wave attacks. The reporting included Masran bin Arshad's information provided while he was in a foreign government custody on his four-person Malaysian cell tasked by KSM to be part of an operation targeting the west coast of the United States, as well as July 2002 reporting on Malaysian national Zaini Zakaria seeking pilot training. Contrary to CIA representations, the use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques against Hambali did not result in the discovery of the Ghuraba cell that was tasked with executing the second wave plotting. As noted, in foreign government custody, Hambali's brother, Ruswan Gunawan, identified a group of Malaysian and Indonesian students in Karachi, witting of Gunawan's affiliation with Jamaiya Islamiyah. The cable conveying this information recommended confronting Hambali with this information while being subjected to the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. Hambali was questioned about the Ghuraba group and KSM's effort to use planes to attack the United States. Hambali told his CIA interrogators that some of the members of the Al Ghuraba group were destined to work for Al Qaeda if everything had gone according to plan, that one member of the group had ambitions to become a pilot, that he, Hambali, was going to send 3 individuals to KSM in response to KSM's tasking to find pilot candidates, but never got around to asking these people, and that KSM told him to provide as many pilots as he could. Months later, on November 30th, 2003, after 3 weeks of being questioned by a debriefer almost entirely in Bahasa, Indonesia, Hambali admitted to fabricating a number of statements during the period he was being subjected to the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques, including information on efforts to locate pilots for KSM. Specifically, Hambali stated he lied about the pilot because he was constantly asked about it and under stress, and so decided to fabricate. According to a cable, Hambali said he fabricated these claims in an attempt to reduce the pressure on himself and to give an account that was consistent with what Hambali assessed the questioners wanted to hear. The November 30th, 2003 cable noted that CIA personnel assessed Hambali's admission of previous fabrication to be credible. Hambali then consistently described the Al Ghuraba organization as a development camp for potential future JI operatives and leadership. Visa a JI cell or an orchestrated attempt by JI to, initiate JI operations outside of Southeast Asia. This description was corroborative of other intelligence reporting. On October 27, 2006, CIA cable states that all of the members of the J.I. Al-Ghuraba cell have been released, while in April 18th, 2008, CIA intelligence report focused on the Jamia Islamiyah in referencing the Al-Ghuraba group makes no reference to the group serving as potential operatives for KSM's second wave plotting, the thwarting of the United Kingdom urban targets plot, and the capture of Duran Barat, aka Isa al-Hindi. Summary: the CIA represented that its enhanced interrogation techniques were effective and necessary to produce critical, otherwise unavailable intelligence, which enabled the CIA to disrupt terrorist plots, capture terrorists, and save lives. Over a period of years, the CIA provided the capture of Duran Barat, aka Isa al-Hindi, and the thwarting of Barat's United Kingdom urban targets plot as evidence for the effectiveness of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. These representations were inaccurate. The operation that resulted in the identification of a UK-based Isa, the identification of Isa as Duran Barat's arrest and the thwarting of his plotting resulted from the investigative activities of UK government authorities. Contrary to CIA representations, KSM did not provide the first reporting on a UK-based Isa, nor are there records to support the CIA representation that reporting from CIA detainees subjected to the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques resulted in Duran Barat's arrest. After the arrest of Duran Barat, CIA officers prepared a document for UK authorities which stated, while KSM tasked al-Hindi to go to the U.S. to surveil targets, he was not aware of the extent to which Barat's planning had progressed, who Isa's co-conspirators were, or that Isa's planning had come to focus on the UK. The plotting associated with Duran Barat was assessed by experts to be amateurish, defective, and unlikely to succeed. Further details: Duran Barat, aka Isa al-Hindi, met with Al-Qaeda leaders in Pakistan in early 2004 to discuss potential terrorist attacks against targets in the United Kingdom. Intelligence reporting indicates that Barat spent February and March 2004 in Pakistan with senior Al-Qaeda explosives expert Abd al-Rahman al-Muhajir, likely refining plans to use vehicle-based bombs against UK targets. In July 2004, casing reports associated with Isa were recovered in a raid in Pakistan associated with the capture of Abu Talha al-Pakistani. During questioning in foreign government custody, Abu Talha stated the U.S. casing reports were from Abu Isa. Further debriefings of Abu Talha revealed that Isa, aka Duran Barat, was the operational manager for Al-Qaeda in the United Kingdom. Additional information about Duran Barat's UK plotting was recovered from the hard drives confiscated during the raid that resulted in the arrest of Duran Barat. A document described the plotting was divided into two parts. The first part included the gas limos project, which envisioned parking explosives-laden courier vans or limousines in underground garages. The 1993 World Trade Center bombing is saying. The second part, the radiation or dirty bomb project, proposed using 10,000 smoke detectors as part of an explosive device to spread a radioactive element contained in the detectors. Duran Barat's plotting was referred to as the United Kingdom Urban Targets Plot. The UK Urban Targets, plot was disrupted when Duran Barat and his UK-based associates were detained in the United Kingdom in early August of 2004. On August 24, 2004, UK authorities informed the CIA that the criminal charges against Barat and his co-conspirators were mainly possible owing to the recovery of terrorist-related materials during searches of associated properties and vehicles following their arrest. In September 2004, an intelligence community assessment stated that Duran Barat was in an early phase of operational planning at the time of his capture, and there was no evidence to indicate that Barat had acquired the envisioned materials for the attacks. In December 2005, an FBI assessment stated the main plot presented in the gas limos project is unlikely to be as successful as described, concluding, we assessed that the gas limos project, while ambitious and creative, is far-fetched. On November 7, 2006, Duran Barat was sentenced to life in prison. On May 16, 2007, Barat's sentence was reduced from life in prison to 30 years after a British Court of Appeal found that expert assessments describing the plot as amateurish, defective, and unlikely to succeed were not provided to the sentencing judge. Okay, the thwarting of the United Kingdom urban targets plot and the identification and or capture of Duran Barat, aka Isa al-Hindi, is one of the 8 most frequently cited examples provided by the CIA as evidence for the effectiveness of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques. Over a period of years, CIA documents prepared for and provided to senior policymakers, intelligence officials, in the Department of Justice represent the identification and or arrest of Duran Barat and or the disruption of the UK plotting as an example of how key intelligence collected from HVD interrogations after applying interrogation techniques had enabled CIA to disrupt terrorist plots and capture additional terrorists. In at least one document prepared for the president, the CIA specifically highlighted the waterboard technique enabling the disruption of Duran Barat's sleeper cell. The CIA further represented that the intelligence acquired from the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques was otherwise unavailable and saved lives. So here's more footnotes. I'm going to stop here. And, if you want to go back through the document, it'll be in the description. So you can, actually hopefully click on the link and then go right to this document. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Bye.